Viva los tres chingones. Man, hey, gracias, man, for anybody and everybody who's on here, man, just to check us out, dog. I cannot wait to get into this. Welcome to Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Let's just go ahead and get the panel list. My guys, I'm a chingon, but man, these two guys are much more chingones. And of course, I'm talking about one, Mr. Mike Zavala.
Yeah, Tres Chingones, baby. The past, the present, the future of boxing. The Tres Chingones podcast, baby. We're next. What's up?
Hey, let's check out, man, el jefe del chingón a chingones. One, Mr. David Contreras.
Oh!
Hey, Ed and Mike, man, I am so excited. I think I sent you a text a couple of days ago, both of you guys. Guys, I'm excited about this show. And man, you know what? Let's rock and roll, man. I mean, before we'd serve high-risk search warrants, we'd get the team together and then we put some good music. It was either Vicente Fernandez or some hard rock and roll as we're driving to the homes, to hit the house on a high-risk search warrant. And everybody was fired up. And you know what? That's how I feel today. And my last words as a sergeant out of the car to my squad, I was always looking at every team member. We're in the car. We're all suited up. We got our MP5s fully loaded, fully rocked. We got our vests on. We got our helmets on. And I would always look at them and say, let's rock and roll. And you know what? Let's rock and roll, man. I feel just the same feeling that I had serving those high-risk search warrants. I have it here, man, on this show. I'm excited, and let's rock and roll, man. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. I want to go ahead and give a shout-out to anybody who's watching us on YouTube. We are also live on Twitter and Facebook. Shout-outs to all our chingones out there, to all our boxing aficionados, man. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, just to keep it 100% boxing. It's all about the passion. And man, let's just do this, guys. I can't wait, man. First of all, hey David, is it getting hot over there where you're at? Oh, out there in Florida?
Oh, brother, you know what? As a matter of fact, my wife and I right now we're just having a drink overlooking the ocean by our patio, and she was actually telling me, she goes, David, it was hot today. It was probably about 95, but our the humidity, it's probably about 90 degrees. So it's really like 115. So yes, to answer your question, it's getting hot. But you know what? The worst time to come to Florida right now is a perfect time to be in Florida. May, June, July. The worst time to come is August and September. That's when it gets really, really hot. But like I tell my wife, I'm not working. I'm retired. The only time I go out is to go to the beach or to go to the store, and everything's air conditioning. And my air conditioning in the ocean is the water. So, I mean, now if I was working, I think it'd be different. But it's beautiful out here right now. Yes, it is a little warm.
Yeah. It's we're supposed to be hitting a heat wave here and throughout this weekend, and kind of messes up my plans just a little bit. But gentlemen, with that, now we do have a couple of fights to get into. But before we get into those fights, let's just get into a little bit of news that's going on around the boxing world. Let's start with Spence versus Crawford. Okay, we're all waiting for this fight. Everybody, it's been quite a few years that people have been talking about this fight, but nobody really expected it. That when Crawford was over there with Top Rank, nobody was really expecting it too much. Everybody wanted it. Right. Myself personally, I was just like, I just want to see Crawford versus somebody, just somebody, a major name. And we got it with Sean Porter. Okay. But now that since he left Top Rank, everybody jumped on the train about like, oh, orale, this fight is going to happen. Now it's going to happen. Guys, here we are. This fight is still not made. There's a lot of rumors out there, but this fight is not made. And there is no solid evidence that this fight is even close to being done. How say you, Mike?
Yeah, man. According to the research, I haven't seen anything that's solid yet. And these guys are 34 years old, I believe. Hey, man, it's got to happen now. If it happens next year, Man, I'm gonna be really disappointed. It's just it has to happen. It's already becoming a little expired, but like I said, these guys are coming off a great win from both of them, and it's time, man. It's time. It's not like when Mayweather and Pacquiao, when Pacquiao was coming off a loss from Marquez and stuff like that. No, they're both coming off great wins, and they're both coming out. They're coming strong. So it has to happen. It will be a black eye to the sport of boxing.
David, does this fight have an expiration date to you? Do you think it's going to lose a little bit of luster if they keep messing around with it?
You know, I'm not a prophet or a son of a prophet, but I'll tell you, the fight's probably going to be in November. I think it's probably going to be in November. I don't know why. I look at November, December, no later than that. Is it going to happen? Yes, it is going to happen. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen by December, yes, I think the expiration date is probably going to be December. But I see it November, December. I see it in the next couple of weeks. They'll be announcing it, and it's going to be a huge fight.
I'll say this. I was, coming on and kept reminding people because people will keep on asking me, man, who you got in the fight? Who you got in the fight? And I'm like, well, look, first, I want the fight to be announced. And I kept reminding people, guys, this fight, it's not a done deal. It's, as a matter of fact, not only is it not a done deal, but all the rumors that I just heard was nothing but YouTube rumors. That was it. I didn't see anything of solid evidence that this fight was close to being done, and all we needed was a signature. And all I was hearing was just nothing but YouTube stuff. And it got a lot of people thinking like, oh man, they're like this. They're like this. They're about to, make it happen. And to this day, there's still no solid evidence that this fight is in the works. There was a little bit thrown around of Keith Thurman a few weeks back, maybe more like a month ago or something like that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I could see something like that happening. Does it have an expiration date? I think Crawford is like 2-3 years older than Spence. The Spence got to wait it out a little bit. I don't know. I got Crawford in the fight if the fight were to happen. David, I like what you're saying. I like how you're staying positive, my man, that this fight does happen this year.
It's going to happen. It is. It's going to happen.
I'm going to be real. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't think this fight happens this year, guys.
Wow.
I don't think it does. I think one of those guys moves on and fights somebody else. I don't know, in a big fight, small fight, whatever type of fight, but I don't think they fight each other next. I think they fight, but I just don't think they fight each other next. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you're right, David. Maybe Crawford does get back in the ring by October, November. I don't think against Spence, though, brother.
You know what? If Crawford was still with Top Rank, I would agree with you 100%. But because he's no longer with Top Rank, he's basically running solo, his own promotional company. Because of that, I think I could 100% say that it is going to happen October, November, December. But because he's solo, if he was with Top Rank, I'd agree with you 100%, Ed. But because he's solo, he can make it happen. He might not take 60-40, or he might not go 50-50. I mean, that's what the negotiations, what I'm reading, is the holdup right now of what the percentage is. But because he's no longer Top Rank, I could see it happening.
Something that you touched on right there. I heard a lot of people talk about this, like, oh man, it's 50-50, 50-50. Hey, Minority Report, what's going on? We're gonna get to that Minority Report. We are. Hey, it's 50-50 when we're talking about money, right? When we're talking about A side and stuff, which I don't even really like getting into the whole A side and stuff. But you know what? The star is the one that brings everybody. In this case, I'm gonna say I think Spence is probably more popular.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think he's more popular, but I think they both bring in fans because how much everybody wants to see this fight. But I do think Spence is probably the bigger name. Yeah, I think Crawford is the better name. I think Crawford wins this fight, man. I truly do. So does he have to take 40%? Maybe. You know, it's business. To us, it's boxing, but to everybody behind the scenes, it's business, it's money. So I mean, he's probably gonna have to take a little pay cut, especially if he's not PBC's son the way Spence is.
Yeah.
So there's that, man. We'll definitely keep an eye out on Spence Crawford. Again, as of right now, just like I've been saying for many weeks, that fight is not made yet. Until this day, it's still not made. So if you guys are out there listening to other YouTubers talking about this fight, talking about, hey, you know, this guy I think beats him, guys, this fight is not made if it even gets made. But
well, you know what fight they're getting ready to announce? I just heard this, and I've been reading about it and hearing about it also. Jesse Bam Rodriguez against Chocolatito in December. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at that, but I mean, that's a fight that's probably going to be getting announced in the next couple of weeks. So now that is going to be a great fight.
That's a dream match, man. That's a dream match. Old Lion versus Young Lion. That's a dream match. Exactly. So we'll definitely. Oh man, come on, David. That's.
I can't wait for that one. It's gonna be a good one. We need to go to that fight. Yeah.
That's a really good one right there. What's up, Andres? Don't worry about it, brother. We just got started, man, right here.
What's up, brother?
Shout out to all our chingones watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, man. Okay.
That's a point. Yes.
Something that Minority Report just brought up. Look, guys, at first, Jake Paul, a lot of people were just taking him like he's a clown. He's a nobody. As it was bad for boxing. You know, he's a disgrace to boxing. And I was one of them. I kind of turned the corner a little bit because I saw he was taking it serious. I saw he was putting real fighters that really didn't have much of a name. He was putting them on the map. He was putting them on the undercard. It wasn't just a, circus clown show with him. And I seen him training and I'm like, hey, this guy's taking it serious, but he never fought a boxer. Now he was going to fight Tommy Fury, which is the younger brother of Tyson Fury. He was going to fight him. I think last year, Tommy Fury pulled out. He was going to fight him in August, and then Tommy Fury pulls out because of visa. He can't come into the United States. Now, Jake Paul, whether this is true or not, whether he was willing to do this or not, that I don't know. But he did come on and say, listen, I will go to since you can't come to the U.S. because of the legal issues, I will go to the UK and I will pay you $500K to fight you. And Tommy Fury said, no, that's beneath me. 500,000, no, that's too little. So now Jake Paul is moving on and he's fighting, what's his name? Hasim Rahman Jr., who is an actual boxer with a 12-1 record. Now, this is his first actual fighter that he's fighting. Mike, how say you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's fighting an actual boxer. We're gonna see if this fight's for real, man. I like Jake Paul. I see some good stuff, but he's not a real fighter, man. And there is a lot of money behind him. Hey, man, and there's mafia in this, man. What if Hasim Rahman gets paid off and he gets knocked out on purpose and this and that? I can't take this serious. Jake Paul's not a real 100% fighter, and he's an entertainer first. So, hey, who knows? It could be a fixed fight, man. So don't be surprised when it comes to that. But if it's real, I respect Jake Paul. So we're gonna see. Yeah.
David, thoughts?
Hey, brother, I'm not a fan, man. I mean, Jake Paul's a clown. You know what I mean? I mean, you got Mikey Garcia started fighting at 14 years old.
Yeah.
You got Kent started fighting at 5 years old. You got Crawford that started fighting at 8 years old. You know what I mean? I mean, you got literally Robert Garcia fighting at 5 years old. You got these, and all of a sudden, this 30-year-old, or I don't know how old he is, he comes on, but you know what? He's good for boxing. Now,
Yeah.
Rockman, he just got knocked out not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fight, I'm looking at his record, the fighters that he's fought, I mean, who were they? They were nobodies. And you know what? And his last fight was at 229. The fight before that was at 249. So he has to go down to cruiserweight. They're fighting at 200. And there's a clause that at the day of the fight, they can't weigh over 214. So now he has Rockman in 1 month coming down maybe 50 pounds, maybe 30 pounds, maybe 80 pounds. I don't know how much he's weighing right now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this isn't really a fight, bro. I mean, this is something that, yes, he signed the contract, but you know what? He's dieting like crazy. And the day of the fight, this guy, Rockman, probably hasn't weighed 200 pounds since the kindergarten. You know what I mean? Okay. So now you got this Vato coming in at 200, and there's a weight clause at 214 day of the fight. He's going to be tired. He's going to be beat. So there's your mafia that you were talking about, Mike.
Yeah, you know I mean? I didn't know the particulars, but there has to be. He can't just fight us boxers like Rockman. Now that you tell me this, there's the mafia right there, man. So
there it is.
I'm still going to watch it. I like Jake Paul. He's good for boxing, but I don't take it too serious, man. It's not the truth, man. It's not the truth.
Okay, man. Okay, let me play the other side of the spectrum here, because I'm actually becoming a fan of Jake Paul, man. First of all, David, everything that you said, man, 100%. Yeah, you know, you got boxers, man, that this has been their entire lives to get to the level where he's at, and some fighters don't even make it to that level, right? No. Pay-per-view status, because you're a big YouTuber and things of that nature. Completely understand, man. I respect that, definitely. However, he is putting in the work, though. He is, you know, finding a passion in boxing. And if he's
money,
money, you know what?
Money. Hey, it's good money.
Okay,
he's making more money than a lot of fighters. Yes,
but he's still but he's still getting in the ring. He's still getting in the ring, and he's training. He is training. If you guys see him train, this guy trains his ass off. You know, no, it's not the prettiest thing to see him in the ring where he's got all those boxing skills, but I can see improvements. Yes, we can criticize that he fought, you know, a basketball player. He fought the MMA guys, but that's not really so much his fault, because he was supposed to be fighting Tommy Fury last year. Tommy is the one that pulled out. He was supposed to be fighting Tommy Fury again in August. Tommy is the one that pulled out. So for the fight to continue, he found this guy. And this guy is an actual boxer. Now, yes, it's, you know, short notice. You got to make a certain weight. So I get it. But at the same time, this is his first real boxer that he's fighting. I'm not going to lie, guys. I do want to watch this fight. I do want to watch this fight. And I am excited. Yeah. David, will you be watching this fight?
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know what the date is, if there's not any other fights, you know what? I usually have 3 TVs on at one time. So yes, he will be on one of my televisions. Okay. You know, now if I have to pay for it, maybe not. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to pay to watch him fight. But if I could get it free, why not? I mean, it's boxing, right? Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
And Ed and Dave, just real quick, and you know what, Ed, I'm going to defend him too. Every fighter does that. They fight cheap opponents and tomato cans, and he's doing what he has to do. You know that prospects, they go to Tijuana and they go to Mexico, but particularly in Tijuana, and they get their record of 10-0, 10 knockouts, and then they get discovered in the United States. Oh, this guy's 10-0, 10 knockouts, and they get a deal with Top Rank, Golden Boy, et cetera, et cetera. So he's getting these tomato cans and looking phenomenal. He's doing what he has to do. But like Dave said, I want to know particulars. I want to know the mafia, and we see that, okay, he has to drain himself. So we're seeing it. He's doing, like I said, fighters go to Tijuana, they get their record, and fight tomato cans, taxi drivers, and then they come to the States with a 10-0 and 10 knockout record. So he's doing what he has to do. So both of you guys are right and wrong, I guess. I don't know. Both of you guys are right.
Yeah. I'd say this. Once he gets to 10 fights, because this guy doesn't have any amateur background or anything, but once he passes 10 fights, if that's what he wants to do, then I'll start putting a little bit more pressure. As far as all this nonsense that I heard, like earlier in the year or late last year, oh, he needs to fight Canelo. Get out of here. No, he does. That's ridiculous.
No.
That is so ridiculous. But after 10 fights, yeah, I'd like him to step it up a little bit, maybe a couple of old veteran fighters that come out. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.,
Yeah.
maybe. Anderson Silva seemed to look pretty good, even though he's an MMA guy. He actually put hands on Chavez Jr., which was an embarrassment. Maybe even Edgar Berlanga. Mike, you called it.
Yeah.
Mike, you called it.
Edward hurt him.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know how you.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, David.
I don't know about that, David.
I don't know if you heard, but Manny Pacquiao's coming out of retirement to do one of these promotional fights. What are they called? The exhibition fights.
Exhibition.
Did you hear about that, Ed?
No,
Yeah,
I did not
Manny
hear that.
Pacquiao's coming out to do a promotional fight. He's fighting some karate guy or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Easy money, man.
another
Easy money.
coming out of retirement. Yeah, for that.
Minority Report says Jake, he's trying out for the NFL after boxing. Hey,
I'm
look,
sure he is.
yeah, maybe so, and people are gonna follow him and pay. But you know what?
Yeah.
While he's in boxing, I was very critical of him, but not anymore. He actually has put fighters on the map and gave him some recognition. So, and it looks like he respects the sport. I don't really see him. He talks masa and stuff, but it looks like he takes it serious. When I see him working out and training for a fight, I'm like, okay, this guy's taking it serious. Yeah, he's somewhat of a clown a little bit, but he is taking it serious, man. So I will be looking forward to this fight.
But you know what, Ed? If anything, he's brought a new generation of fans to boxing.
Yeah.
And if he's done anything good for boxing, and the other great thing that he did, he brought Amanda Serrano to our eyes for us to talk about her. I mean, he brought her, and wherever he goes, she fights. So you know what? As a promoter, the guy is phenomenal. The guy is great, and hopefully, after his boxing career, he becomes a promoter. He's going to be outstanding because he already has the star power.
Yeah,
he demonstrated with Amanda.
Yeah. Last thing on this, David. Do you want to see him get knocked out cold?
To be honest with you, I don't even think about bro. I don't even follow him. I don't know nothing about him. I mean, I can't. I mean, yeah, why not? I don't follow him at all, man. I don't see. I don't. When his name comes up, I just overlook it. I have nothing against the guy, but I'm just not it. To me, he's WWE. You know what I mean? He's a wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it'd be a good fight. I mean, like I said, if I could get it free, no doubt, I'll watch it. Yes.
Minority Report doing a lot for Puerto Rico boxing. Yeah, he lives in Puerto Rico, trains over there, and everything like that, man. So he's got a lot of Puerto Rican is very rich history in the sport of boxing. So definitely, David, you just brought up the WWE. Now, for those watching, if you guys don't know, I actually have a wrestling channel called Wrestling Rehab. Go check it out. Speaking on WWE. Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion, the Tyson Fury. Now, there's talks that he might just retire from boxing. He doesn't really have anything set up for the moment. And there is a lot of rumors, guys, that he's going to go into the WWE. Now, he already went to the WWE and had a match there. I think it was last year. Was it the year before? No, I think it was last year. He went and had a match. Okay. So this isn't too far-fetched, guys. David, what do you make of Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion, going and wrestling?
I think it's great. I think that he should definitely retire. I thought he did retire. I thought he announced his retirement, but I got a pound for pound list here by somebody that's very well respected. I'll talk about it at the end of the episode. Why do we even have him on our pound for pound list? Why do we even have him as a champion if he actually at the end of his last fight said, "This is my last fight, I'm retiring"? Why don't they take his belt and have two good fighters fight for it? let him go. You know what I mean? I mean, time to go. And once he goes to WWE or to a circus, wherever he wants to go, if he wants to come back, come back. But he's holding a belt. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, he announced that this is my last fight. Why didn't the WBC or WBA, whatever he's champion at, why didn't they just pull the belt and have a title eliminator for it? That doesn't make sense to me. That's the mafia you're talking about, Mike.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know the politics. You know it's money.
Yeah.
If it makes money, it makes sense.
I mean,
Ed and Dave,
yeah.
this time I'm getting a little feeling of nostalgia. I've seen this movie before. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather Jr. did the same thing. He called retirement. He went to the WWE.
Yeah.
He made a grip of money, and he got the fame and the willingness to walk away. They're gonna give him deals and say, "Hey, come back," and they're gonna give him good bags. He's doing the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. I still think he's gonna come back and he's gonna get double the price he's charging for bags when he fights. I think it's just a chess move.
But if he is retired, don't you think they need to take that belt?
Yeah,
Put
that's
it
a
up
good
for
point,
title
Ed.
eliminator. I mean, let me ask you a question, Ed. Is he retired?
As far as right now, no. He is not officially retired yet. To the best of my knowledge, he is still an active boxer. How active is he? I don't know. We haven't seen him in the ring ever since he knocked out Deontay Wilder. But yeah, he still has the straps. He still is champion. So no, he is not.
So that was about
retired.
a year ago, right? That was about a year ago when he
Something
knocked
like
out.
that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's no other. I mean, that belt. They probably have other fighters that were up for that belt to fight him.
Mm.
So he could basically, for the next 2 years, go to WWE and hold on to that belt, and he doesn't have to fight for that belt.
You know, everybody seems to be focused on Usyk and Joshua, and
Yes.
you know, there's talks about like, hey, he'll fight the winner. You know, he'll fight the winner. But it's like, I mean, I'm with you, David. It's like, how long are you gonna wait, right? It's like
Exactly.
you just can't say, oh, you know what? I'm waiting for the winner of these two guys, and they fight. You know, we're in 2022, and they fight in February of next year. It's like, no, you shouldn't be able just to wait for that. You need to keep busy. You need to defend your title, and if you need to fight a nobody, I'm kind of okay with it, but you got to stay busy. You just can't say, you know, here we are in the month of July. If I'm champion, I'm like, oh, well, you know what? The guy that I want, they're scheduled to fight in January of 2023. So once that fight's over, then we'll schedule it. No, because now we're talking about pretty much a year from today when that's going to happen. I don't like it, David. I don't like the fact that they're doing this. They should say, you know what? If that's going to be your deal, we're going to pull the straps from you. And yeah, go on with your life. Boxing is still here. It's still here, but you cannot hold on to the straps, man.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
What's up, Bugsy Raider? Saludos, tres chingones. Much respects, brother. Hey, saludos to you, chingon. I will say this, Mike. You just brought up a great point. Tyson Fury is money. When he goes into the ring, whether it's wrestling or boxing ring, he's money. And I'm with you, big dog. Now that you brought that out, I agree. I did not even think about that. But I think he might step away from boxing probably for the rest of the year, do a couple of wrestling.
Mayweather did Dancing with the Stars. He did WWE, and look at him. He got 100 million plus when he fought Pacquiao. Like he has the blueprint. Sorry to cut you off, Ed, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree, big dog. I agree. I think he steps away for a while, does some WWE thing, probably does some sort of reality show, something like that. Comes back next year. He's a much bigger star. Everybody like, oh man, Tyson Fury's back. You know, boom. Bump up the prices, and everybody's going to watch. I'm going to watch. But let me go ahead and ask you guys this. Do we ever see Tyson Fury in the ring with either Joshua or Usyk? I'll throw it to you, Mike.
I think so, man. The money's right, man. Anything could happen. Con dinero hasta el perro baila, man. It's gonna happen, man. Mayweather came back. Like I said, I've seen this movie before. Some people forget. I've seen this movie before, and that fight versus Joshua, I'm confident. I think he's gonna get it. I don't know why. Something's telling me it's a big fight, man, and 100 million plus for him if he comes back. Yeah, I see it.
Dave, do you think Fury ever steps in the ring, whether it's this year, next year, 2-3 years from now? Do you think he ever steps in the ring with either Joshua or Usyk?
Well, you know what? His last fight was April 23rd, 2021. So a year and a half ago was when he last fought, and he's still holding on to this belt. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what belt it is. Do I see him come back? The WBC. Oh my God, WBC belt.
Wow.
That's a green belt.
That's a green belt.
Mean, I'm surprised Suleiman is allowing him to hold on to it for a year and a half.
Suleiman's mafioso,
without a fight. You know, talking about mafia, right? Talking about mafia.
Suleiman's a mafioso, man.
Suleiman has friends in low places. So I mean,
oh man, the WBC, man.
With that said, yes, he's probably going to go to WWE. He's going to pick up a couple of guys, throw them over the ring, and fall and jump and have a great time. And yes, I see him coming back. Next month, August, is the fight between Usyk and Anthony Joshua. I see Joshua beating him, so I see him coming back maybe next May, March, and fighting the winner of that. Yes, and then he's going to fight probably for about 100 million. So he'll make his 100 million with WWE and make more money on this fight.
Oh,
yes, I see it happening. Without
I've
seen the movie too.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I did not even think about that till you brought that up, Mike. And I'm gonna agree with everything you just said, man. He's gonna go do some wrestling. I'll be watching wrestling. I'm a wrestling nut myself, and you'll probably go do some reality show as well. And then next year he comes back. Hey, the return of Tyson Fury, and he's fighting for the title. The guy is money. The guy is money. He has really promoting himself as just his own character, Tyson Fury, and he is money. Wherever he goes, wherever he steps, there's Fedia, and this fight will probably most likely take place somewhere in the UK. My goodness, this fight will just explode, man. It will just explode. So, hey, I mean, you know, I don't always agree, man. I kind of like boxing just to be boxing. But now these guys are really after a lot of money, and for some of them it works. You know, for some of them it works. But speaking of the UK guys, look, we got a couple of fights that are going down tomorrow. Just real quickly, I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but Derek Chisora is fighting Korak Pulev, heavyweight fight in London. I like this fight. They're not fighting for anything. None of these guys are going anywhere. Derek Chisora, he's always exciting to see. I don't know. The guy's got like 13 losses or something, but I always like watching him fight. It's kind of like the heavyweight fight between King Kong Ortiz and Andy Ruiz. What are they fighting for? Are any one of those guys going to become world champions? No. If you ask me, the answer is no. But I like the matchup. I think that's a good fight. Same thing with these two guys. They're fighting in London. I'm out here in the West Coast. Mike, so are you. It seems like the main event's going to take place about 2:00 p.m. our time. I'm busy tomorrow during the day, but I'm going to tune in, man. I'm going to tune in, watch it afterwards. But this could be a good scram, man. Both of these guys fight. Both of these guys throw down. I'll be very surprised if it goes all 12 rounds. I'll say you, David.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of either one of them. But the fight that I do want to watch is the fight right before that, and that's going to be Israel Madrimov versus Michelle Sorrell. That's part 2 of part 1. And part 1 was a good fight. They had to stop the fight. There was the bell rung, and they gave the fight to Israel Madrimov. But what I like about Israel, he fights right there in Coachella with Joel Diaz. Okay. So that's the fight that I'm excited about. Because It's going to be over here about 6 o'clock when it comes on. At 5 o'clock, I'll turn it on to watch the pre-fight, and because I'm already watching it, I'll watch the heavyweight fight. But I can't predict who's going to win on that one, the heavyweight, because once again, I mean, I don't follow their careers, and I don't follow. I can't predict, but it's good. I think it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, why not?
It is. They're both scrappers. They're both they both kind of got that mentality. Like, I don't give a damn. Hit me. I'm gonna hit you hard as well. They're not the best fighters. Anthony Joshua put hands on. I mean, they're not going anywhere. But it's just a fight, just to two big guys go in there and throw some chingazos. Mike, will you be tuning in? It's on the zone, homie.
Yeah, maybe. I'm like Dave said, I'm not really that interested. I don't really follow them. But if I'm around, I'll watch it. Why not? I'm down to see scraps. Why not?
Yeah, I will go ahead and try to tell you guys, watch it. You know, it's just, again, they're not fighting for anything. There's nothing really there. None of these guys are gonna be world champions or anything. Both of these guys already had their shot. Both of these guys failed a few times, especially Derek Chisora, but they're entertaining to watch, man. And just
they're older guys too, right? They're both older guys.
They're a little bit older, but they're gonna throw down, man. I do want to watch this fight, but
hey, Ed, but you mentioned Andy Reese. It's funny. Last week we were on the show. You talked about his tattoo. Well, they just put a video. Did you see the video that they just put up about him? Let me show it to you real quick. I don't know if you could see it or not. Let me see.
If you could turn the phone sideways a little, there you go.
Get a little bigger.
No, not. Okay, I mean, give it an angle.
How's that?
Oh, you can see a little bit right there. A little higher.
So what's he?
Right there.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn it on. It's a video. It's only 11 seconds.
Okay.
I seen that with Canelo.
It looks like he's taking.
No, he just did this week again. He's getting into the habit of doing this.
Don't tell me he's moving people.
Actually, he is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
My virgin eyes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? Who does that? I mean, and he's a Chicano. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a Chicano. I mean, what Chicano moons like that? And he shows his nalgas, and then he slaps them, and he's laughing, and it's full of reporters, and they're all video record him. Who does that? I mean,
he's gonna have to explain that to his grandkids one day.
If he ever goes to the joint, he's going to have to explain that one in the joint if he ever goes to the joint.
Yeah, exactly, man. He's got his nalgas tatted. He's mooning them, slapping his nalgas. That's way out. However, I am planning to go to that fight. I am.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
Make sure you tell him to moon the crowd.
Making his way to the ring. Hey, guys. Yeah. So, all right. The big card tomorrow, which I believe is on Showtime.
Yes.
Mark Magsayo versus Ray Vargas. But before we get to that fight, just the co-main event. Brandon Figueroa is back. He's back. He's the younger brother of Omar Figueroa, which I kind of lost respect for that guy. Brandon, I still do like. He's known as the Heartbreaker. He looks like this, almost looks like a model. I mean, the kid, he's got, like a real baby face, greenish blue eyes. I'm like, man, this guy's a fighter, but the guy can actually fight. I will give him that. And he's fighting tomorrow against Carlos Castro in a title eliminator. So, David, what do you make of this fight?
The guy that he's fighting, Carlos Castro's 27-1. The only loss that he has was against Nettie, and he lost against him last year. But he was fighting also at 122. So he's going up in weight. How can they have a title eliminator where you got two guys that have never fought at 126, and now they're both going from 122 to 126? Both of them have never fought, and it's a title eliminator, but yet you got all these guys that have been fighting at 126 waiting to fight. So you know what? That fight right there, 27-1, and if I would have read, I was looking at his boxing record, and I remember that fight against Nettie. If Carlos had been there at 126 for a while, 5 or 6 fights, I would give it to Carlos with a 27-1. But Carlos is going up to 126 from 122. So you know what that means? And Brandon was a champion 122 when he was there. So I give it to Brandon. It's going to be an easy night for Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon lost his titles to Stephen Fulton at
Yes, he did.
122 pounds, which was a great fight. Some people
Great
had Brandon
fight.
winning.
Outstanding fight. Yes.
Yeah, I had Stephen Fulton winning barely. I thought it was a great fight. I would actually want to see a rematch, but that's not the case. Yeah. Now Brandon is moving up to 126. I don't know if you guys saw the weigh-ins, but he didn't make weight.
Couldn't make weight.
Yeah, they had to go. He had to go take his underwear off, take his chonies off, and he just barely made weight. Mike, wow. Does that tell you anything when a fighter actually moves up in weight and struggles to make that weight? Does that tell you anything, Mike?
Yeah, just has he been training right? What and it's his first time, so I'm gonna cut him some slack. But still, man, he's having trouble with weight, so he might have trouble in the fight. He might drain himself. So I don't think it's an indicator that he hasn't been training right. How about that? I don't know.
Well, could it just be like, hey, I don't have to train as much now that I don't have to cut all that weight, and that could be his mistake?
Yeah, that could be, like I said, that could be a mistake. So he's not training right. I don't have to train as right. And look at what happened in the weight class. So that means he didn't do something correctly. In other words,
Yeah. Hey, David, if you're in his team, what does that say to you, man? I mean, you're in his team. It's like, wait a second, we're moving up in weight, guy. How are you struggling to make? Now, eventually he made the weight, but how are you struggling when it's a title eliminator, which, like you explained, David, they're kind of gifting this to you because you got guys that are 126 that have been there trying to get in your position. You move up in weight and you barely make the weight. Like, what does that say to you, David?
Well, you know what? I know that his sister is his manager, and his sister's hired the person that cooks for them, the nutritionist, hired the trainer. Well, his father's a trainer, so it's a family affair. I just think, I'm not looking much. I mean, if he would have came in 5 pounds overweight, then I think I would have a problem with it. But if it was a couple of ounces and within an hour he came back, or just not even left, he just took his underwear off and he was okay. I'm okay with it. I think that it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a slugfest, but I see Brandon without a doubt winning that one. That's going to be I see him without a doubt. And I see him as a future champ at 126. I like that kid. He's a good fighter. A lot of heart.
I like Brandon. It's his brother that I don't really care for. I was a fan of Omar, but I like Brandon Figueroa. I think the kid's got a lot of heart. The fact that he didn't make weight he did make weight. I don't want to, mislead anybody. By the way, shout outs to William Boxing, nothing but love. Joaquin, what's going on, brother? Want to thank everybody, man, who's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, man. Los Tres Chingones Boxing. I like Brandon. He's got a lot of heart. Okay, the fact that I don't want to mislead anybody, he did make weight, but the fact that he moved up in weight and he struggled with making the weight is a little concerning. I'm hoping that his heart is still in it. This is a title eliminator. And yes, he could become the guy at 126 if he stays, his head level, straight, and focused. This, I'm not saying it knocks him off track. I'm just saying it's a little concerning to me. That is it. You move up in weight and you struggle making that weight. So, but I do have Brandon winning this fight, David. I really do. If he loses the fight, I'm going to say there's some sort of distraction there, or maybe he just doesn't want it anymore. Maybe he's just doing it because that's what we do. We're boxers, so what else am I going to do? And that's not the attitude to have, not in this game. Like you said it, Mike, many times, you play all kinds of other sports, but you don't play boxing. Boxing is life, man. So let's get to the main event, gentlemen. This one
Oh my God.
Man, San Antonio, Texas, man, you guys got a nice fight on your hands, and I will be watching. Okay, we are talking about Mark Masago. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Vato from the Philippines, Magsayo.
Mhm.
Magsayo.
Against Ray Vargas, man. Um, Ray Vargas, I think this is only his second
Second.
fight at
Yeah.
126. Yeah,
126. Yeah.
yeah. He's what is he like 5'9", 5'10"? He's a tall guy.
5.5, something like that.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. So the fact that he fights at a weight class like that, hey, a toda madre, handle yours. But man, David, well, Mike, just give your thoughts on this fight, man.
Oh man, this is somebody's always got to go. This is the 50-50 fight. I can't call it, man. I can't call it. I got some things that I saw. Let me just tell you about Magsayo. Hey, he faced adversity. He fought the Mexican El Pollito Ceja. He got dropped. He was in the brink of getting knocked out, and in the late rounds, in the 10th round, he knocked him down. And I saw weakness in that fight. He got hit to the body, and Ray Vargas goes to the body. He goes to the body a lot. But I see a lot. I see some holes in Ray Vargas's game, and I'll let Dave get into it, and I'll tell you his holes in his game, because I see some holes. But I can't call this fight, guys. I can't call it. I don't know about you guys. I can't call it.
Yeah, David. Magsayo is 24-0. Vargas is 35-0. How say you on this fight, David?
I got Ray Vargas on this fight. I got Ray Vargas because I did see that fight where he was knocked down or the body shot. And you know what? I saw the fight when he fought Gary Russell, and Gary Russell beat him with one arm. You know what I mean? They gave him the fight. I mean, you're fighting a one-arm fighter. You should knock him out, and he didn't. I don't think, you know what, they call him the future Manny. As a matter of fact, he's Manny's protege, and he's also, training with Freddie Roach. So they see him as the next Manny Pacquiao. I don't see it. If he would have, eliminated
Gary Russell?
last fight, Gary Russell, I would say yes. But I saw that fight. I saw it twice, and he doesn't have a killer instinct in him. He should have taken him out several times. And you know what? With Ray Vargas, he's going up in weight, yes. But you know what? He was a world champion at 122. I think he held 2 or 3 belts. And then he went up. So you know what? Now you have Nacho Berenstein, which is Vargas's coach, and you have Freddie Roach. I mean, talking about 2 old school trainers. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Nacho, the corner's saying. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that. What Freddie's saying with subtitles, of course. But I'm looking forward to just seeing those two. I mean, those are 2 boxing training legends. So that's going to be a great fight. But I got Ray Vargas winning that fight. I'm probably the only one that has Ray Vargas. Nobody else does.
And you know what? I like that you bring up the trainers, Freddie Roach and Nacho Berenstein, because those 2 guys were the trainers of Manny Pacquiao and Marquez.
Yes, so, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're
Right. So they're no strangers to one another. So they're gonna meet again, man. On opposite corners of the ring. So that makes it more exciting. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say, look, David, everything you just said, I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you, David. Not only did Gary Russell Jr. fight injured with one arm, but Gary Russell was out for like 2
years.
Another like 2 years.
Yeah.
So he was out for a while. Now I will say this, man, and Gary Russell Jr. is just
outstanding.
Yes, man. He's got skills, but he's too inactive, man. He's way, way, way too inactive for me to remain a fan of his. So in a way, I'm glad that they gave it to Mark Masayo.
Me too. Me too.
Yes. Yeah, I am. Just so we can see the title be defended. I mean, that's basically it. Because if it's in Gary's hands, he's not gonna fight again till next year. Man, this fight is such a good fight. Magsayo has shown that he does have heart. Mike, you touched on it. He has been dropped. He has got back up. Ray Vargas definitely has his work cut out for him. I'm going to agree with you, David. I'm going to go with Ray Vargas. I just think he's just got better boxing skills.
Yeah.
Magsayo, I don't think he's got the best jab there is. I don't. There's really, he's got heart, and he is a good fighter. But when I just think of what these guys do, Ray Vargas, while there's really nothing that special about him, where I say like, "Oh man, his defense is on another
Yeah.
level," or "Hey, his footwork is like, damn," no, but a lot of things he does them pretty good. He doesn't do them the best, but I just think he's a just better overall boxer. But I'm expecting a good one, man. I'm expecting
Yeah.
a good one. Mike, who you
Yeah.
got in this fight, big dog?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how to call it. Let me just tell you the weaknesses I've seen in Ray Vargas. He hasn't knocked no one out in 7 fights, and he is a what? He's coming up. This is second fight coming up, and like I said, Magsayo has power in the late rounds, and the Mexican fighter he pulls out a lot, and when he throws his combination, he leaves his chin open, and that's the thing. He gets dropped a lot. If you look at his height, he gets dropped a lot, and this kid, Magsayo has power, so. He could probably, and he gets cut a lot. The Mexican fighter Vargas gets cut a lot too. So we can see he could get stopped by a cut, or he could get knocked out too. There's a great fight, but like I said, he hasn't knocked no one out in 7 rounds. So he might win the fight in decision, or he has to win the fight by going to the body, and he does go into the body. Estilo Mexicano el DF, va al cuerpo, and he chops him down, goes to the body, and then he chops him up to the top. That's how I see the fight, but. Hey, Magsayo, man, he shows that he gets dropped and he gets back up just like the greats, De La Hoya and the Trinidad. He gets dropped and he gets back up. So yeah. I don't know how to call it yet.
David, where does height play in this fight? Vargas, he's like 5'10". He's taller than I am, man, and I don't weigh anywhere near 126. So I'm not nowhere near that weight class, but he's a tall guy for that weight class. Where does height come in on this?
You know what? On this fight, the height comes in because Vargas is an awkward fighter. He's a very awkward. He's not the 1-2 uppercut. I mean, he's an awkward fighter. Everybody that's fought him has always said, you know what? I didn't know where he was coming from because his punches are coming. As a matter of fact, you're absolutely right. He leaves his jaw open because sometimes he throws the overhead right literally over. So I could see that happening. I didn't think about that. I could see that. I think that on this fight, I have him because he's so awkward. He's just going to come in. He's going to overwhelm him, and he's going to have a hard time hitting him because he's so awkward, and having Nacho Berenstein in that corner, I mean, that tells you a lot too. And him being undefeated, what is it, 37-0? I mean, he's fought some world champions. He's fought some good, I mean, some pretty heavy people. So I think the awkwardness is going to help him a lot on this fight.
Okay. Does this end by stoppage or does it go all 12 rounds, Mike?
Oh man. Like I said, if Vargas goes to the body, he could probably stop him, but I see Vargas in points. And I think Magsayo could drop him, man, because of that chin. He doesn't put the safety belt, and he pulls out a lot. Man, body. I think Vargas decision or Magsayo knockout. I'm gonna call it like that, and I'm always wrong, so don't put your money on that, man. Yeah, I'm always wrong, man. This one's a crazy fight. I can't call it, man.
You know what? I go 100% with what you said. I see Vargas decision or Magsayo knockout.
Yeah.
I mean, I see Vargas decision. I mean, if I were going to bet 60% decision, 40% knockout, but that's going to be the end result. It's going to be a knockout. It's going to be an early knockout, or it's going to be a decision. But I see either one of the two. So I agree with you.
Damn.
Magsayo has power, man.
Man, you know what? We're 3 for 3, man. That is exactly my prediction. If it goes the distance, Vargas is winning this fight. I don't think Vargas will stop him. I think he can hurt him, but I don't think he can stop him. Magsayo, he's shown that he'll get back up, man. But I can see Magsayo, stopping Vargas, man. I can't see that happening. Leaves that jaw open a little bit, tags him. He's on, even if he gets back up, he's on spaghetti legs, and I could see him stopping it or having the referee come in, stop it. But man, 3 for 3. That's my prediction on this fight too. Somebody's O has got to go. Hey, before we end that, David, any chance of a draw?
No, not in this one. I don't see a draw in this one. Yeah,
Okay.
not on this fight.
Mike?
No, I don't. I have to agree with you, with Dave. Nah, I don't think so. Either knockout or a decision. I'm gonna call it like an alcoholic, like that.
Okay. I'm gonna say the same thing unless there's bad officiating, unless there's bad judges. I think everybody's gonna be able to see who truly won the fight. But if there's terrible judges, yeah, then I could see a draw. But that's the only way I could see a draw. But with that, gentlemen, anything else you guys want to throw out there, man? I got an announcement to make on next week's.
You know what? Actually, I do. I want to throw out a shout out to Dave Martinez from dmboxing.com. As you can see, I'm wearing his baseball cap. I'm wearing his shirt. The guy is a historian. We're going to bring him on our show. He's going to be one of our guests on our show in the next couple of weeks. The guy's outstanding. If you belong to his club, and all you have to do is register to dm.com, and he'll probably send you a hat. He'll probably send you a shirt free of charge. And he just sent me actually this right here. It's a little notebook so I could count my rounds as I'm watching the fight. A little pin with his name on it, DM Boxing. And he also sent me, because he sees that I watch the fights at night, sometimes when I post them, my own little light. So I could be having my little, my little book writing. And Dave Martinez, thank you very much for this gift, for the hat, for the shirt, for the little notebook, even for the pin. And they all have DM Boxing. And Dave, we're looking forward to having you as a guest on our show. Yes. Thank you very much. And man, you rock, brother. Thank you. You have an outstanding show at dmboxing.com.
Yes. Can't wait to get that gentleman on, man. Oh, Joaquin says
we'll have him on pretty soon.
Joaquin says Magsayo is good, but he's no Pacquiao.
No,
I have to watch it again, but Russell Jr. about beat him with one hand. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Joaquin. Exactly, man. Magsayo should have been able to annihilate Gary Russell Jr. He was hurt. He'd been out for like 2 years, and he didn't do it. And yeah, you're right. He's no Pacquiao, man. Just because he's from the Philippines, and he's Pacquiao's protege. Hello, gentlemen. Wishing you the best on the channel. Hey, gracias. All right, so we're going to call it right there, but I do have an announcement for next week. Okay, so check this out. To all our chingones out there. And by the way, Mike and David don't know this either. They don't know this either. So check this out, man. To my chingones right here on the panel, and to all our chingones out there watching. Next Saturday is Ryan Garcia gets in the ring with Javier Fortuna, and we will be talking about that fight. And by the way, I might be going to that fight. Now, here's the announcement right here, live. If life doesn't get in the way, I talked to the gentleman earlier today. He said yes. Again, guys, this is only if everything goes well. Of course, there's life, man. Life can get in the way of things, and it might not happen. But this gentleman's word is good. I know this gentleman personally. He's a good guy. So to break down the Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna fight, should everything go well, we are going to have a fourth panelist, Bobby Garcia, who is the older brother of Ryan Garcia, here with us. We all three have been critical.
Is that the youngster? He's the kid with tattoos? That's his brother? That one?
No, he has an older brother. He has
an older. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Ryan Garcia's older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia's older brother. I talked to him today, and he said yes, should everything work out. All three of us have been real critical of Ryan Garcia, and we're going to keep it real, man. We're going to keep it real. Yeah. I've told them, I said, listen, we're going to keep it 100% real, man. Okay, but I cannot wait to have him on. He's going to break it down. I've asked him, man, we want to know what's going on with your brother. All kinds of things. He says he's 100% open. So,
excellent.
Yeah, okay. So hopefully, should everything work out, to you guys, to all our chingones out there, Ryan Garcia's older brother will join us so we could break down the Ryan Garcia versus Javier Fortuna, and I don't want anybody to hold back, man. Hey,
So,
this is
so he'll
boxing.
be on the show next Friday with us, right?
Next Friday, live.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, you know what? We'll start announcing it on our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, so we can get more people on and people can ask questions. Excellent.
Yeah,
Outstanding. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, man. And I've told them I was a fan of your brothers, but I fell off. And like I said, we're all gonna keep it real. We are all gonna keep it real, man. But with that, Mike, David, anything else, gentlemen, before we call it?
Yeah, just real quick, Ed and Dave, we're gonna be me and Dave are gonna go, and Ed, if you're gonna jump in, you said maybe Spanish. We're gonna do a Spanish podcast on Wednesdays, so check us out there, and then we're gonna also go on Mondays to give you the results of this fight. And Ed, you know, you're gonna jump on it, but we're trying to do the Spanish one in español para toda la raza, y a ver si se puede, man.
Para hablar el puro boxeo en español.
Sí,
A
sí.
huevo. A huevo. Hey guys,
Hey,
as soon
guys.
as we go off live, stay on so we could talk real quick. Chat about. I have a question about something. As soon as we go
Yeah,
off live.
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Guys, I want to go ahead to all the chingones out there. Please share, like, subscribe this channel, man. We can't do anything. We can't really do much with this channel until we get a certain amount of subscribers. We're trying to get there. We just started. We're just getting going and everything, but we're gonna keep throwing chingazos, man, until we get there. You guys better believe that. So just help us out, and we'll get there. David?
Hey, yeah, brother. One last question. Please log on or sign on to our Facebook account, Los Tres Chingones, to our Instagram account, Los Tres Chingones, and also to our Twitter account, Los Tres Chingones. The more people we have, hey, you know what? The better for all of us. Por favor.
Yeah, and we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we're in it to win it, baby. We're going for the title. We're going for the title. So with that, hey, Mike, David, all right, we'll talk right now in a little bit. Hey, this is it. Los Tres Chingones right here. To all our chingones out there, man, you guys, this is all for the passion. This is all for the passion, the love, and we will see you guys again. Hit the notification bell just in case, you know, we drop content. Sometimes it's just me, sometimes it's just Mike, sometimes it's just David, sometimes two of us, three of us. But you guys hit the notification bell, man. We got content dropping throughout the entire week, and we're trying to go live at least 3 times a week. So you guys hit the notification bell, man, and we're here to talk some boxing, el boxeo. So shout out to all the chingones, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Gracias.